This is a dovetail joint. So is this and this. And it's a good sign of quality furniture. And this is a poorly put together drawer. As you can see, there are nails. It's not real wood, it's MDF or particle board. And look at this. The door pull is loose and won't screw in all the way. And this is why almost everything in your house is built like this. And by the end of this video, I'll show you everything to look for so you're never fooled by this type of furniture. But first, you need to know how we got here because it changes how you shop. The rise of fast furniture actually started in the 1950s when IKEA, yes, our favorite big box retailer, opened its own store. And here's the thing, I'd be lying if I said I didn't buy IKEA furniture. In fact, looky here, an IKEA Kallax recently bought about 2 weeks ago because I needed to outfit my home. And that's the thing, IKEA furniture is cheap, relatively easy to put together, and frankly, is an affordable way to outfit your home. However, it remains true that IKEA is the reason for the degradation of quality of furniture in America and around the world. If you look at IKEA's website, under the history section, they'll tell you that their founder, Ingvar Kamprad, revolutionized a better life for people everywhere. Sure, IKEA is known for their inexpensive furniture that is affordable, but at what cost? Anyway, back to our brief history. Back in the 1940s, after the war, Ingvar had an entrepreneurial spirit. He began his humble beginnings by selling pins and oddly wallets. And like many entrepreneurs, his dad eventually gave him a small sum of money with the intention of creating Ingvar's bold plan for the future. He begins by selling furniture. Then inspiration hits. As Ingvar becomes frustrated with packing and shipping furniture, he has an idea. What if he implemented the flat box packaging method, which technically had already existed, to his own furniture? Here's the thing. It's not like he revolutionized the industry, it's just that he marketed better than anyone else, and thus began the push for build your own furniture. The problem? As we progress into 2026, the quality, anecdotally, from my own experience, is just not there. America was the furniture capital of the world. In fact, North Carolina specifically was the furniture capital of the world, and frankly, it still is. However, much of the furniture in North Carolina that used to be produced there has moved overseas. And this all started because of a couple things. NAFTA, the North Atlantic Fair Trade Agreement, I think, I'm going to put it down below, was part of the reason that we have the quality of furniture we have today. It was during the 1990s when NAFTA came about, and it kind of spurred global trade in America as well as throughout the rest of the world. And globalization made it possible that furniture could be shipped to America. Bug. Suddenly, it became incredibly cheap for the companies to produce this stuff, and they charged less, but still a significant amount, despite the fact that the quality wasn't really there. The internet, when it came about in the 1990s and through to 2010, changed the way that we bought furniture. So before this, you had to go to a store, order from a catalog, etc. But with the evolution of the internet came more ability to buy furniture from places you normally wouldn't be able to buy from. This expanded everyone's ability to buy the furniture that they want for the style that they were looking for. Basically, we can now just ship furniture to our home and pretty much assemble it there. No more white glove delivery fees, and you become the builder by having to assemble a piece of furniture. And I'd be lying if I didn't talk about the rise of influencers and creators who have pushed the agenda of fast furniture. Updating your home is a lovely venture, and it's going to take me a long time to update this beautiful house. However, there has been a lot of social media push to change over fast furniture, design your home. One day it's one thing, the next day it's another. This throwaway mentality of furniture just going from flat box packaging to the landfills is causing environmental destruction and it's wreaking havoc. It's also not great for your budget, because if you're having to flip over your furniture every 3 to 5 years, that's not going to be sustainable. And also, I'm sure many of you remember the pandemic when we all had to bunker down and stay in our homes. And what did that produce? Well, it produced a lot of people outfitting their home in new design styles. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's wonderful to make our home feel like a home. But where it went wrong is that there was just this overconsumption of goods. The question remains, what is good furniture? Where can you find said furniture? And what do you look for to make sure that you get the best piece possible? That's where I come into play, and today I'm going to share all the details that I have used to outfit my home. Step into my office. So there are a couple things that you can look for when you do start looking for furniture. 1, real wood, solid wood, beautiful, cherry, oak, mahogany. All the good quality wood. Now, some people will argue that veneers are the enemy of good quality furniture. However, there are a lot of decorative veneers that you need to be aware of, and the reason that they are put on is to make the piece more special. It is not necessarily because it is a cheap piece of crap. So what do you do when you're at one of these places and you're looking at a piece of furniture and you're wondering, should I get this? Should I pass? Well, there are a couple things that you can note. 1, is it made out of MDF or particle board? We are looking for real quality wood. The next thing you're going to look for to see if it's quality furniture are dovetail joints, which I showed you earlier at the beginning of the video. Now, a dovetail joint is rather time consuming to produce, and it's like fitting 2 puzzle pieces in together. Companies that are maximizing profit are often not going to use dovetail joints, corner blocks, which we'll get into in a second, or pretty much any of the things I'm going to talk about, because it is expensive to produce. And if it's expensive to produce, it's not going to be able to be produced quickly or cheaply, which is why this quality gets passed on to the consumer, or rather lack thereof, quality gets passed on to the consumer. Now, let's talk upholstered pieces. So this chair is rather nice. It's probably from the 1990s, 1980s. It is still working, and it is a lovely piece of furniture. But there are a couple things you want to look for when you buy upholstered furniture. So 1 being kiln-dried wood frames. You want a kiln-dried wood frame because it's going to last longer, and it's just, well, it's wood, right? It's not like put together cheaply. Again, a running thing, put together cheaply. And you also want to look for upholstered furniture that is cushioned. You want something that has spring to it, that feels firm. So if you're buying used, it's going to be real easy to tell if the piece is good quality because it's going to stand up still after years of use, hopefully anyway. The fabric should be tightly woven. So here's a not tightly woven fabric, and here's a tightly woven fabric. How much friction can the piece of fabric take? So 30,000 rubs is pretty decent. 50,000 rubs, even better. But this fabric here is not 50,000 rubs. This is for decorative curtains, decorative pieces of upholstered furniture. Also, check the springs. If you're sitting on a piece of furniture and you feel the springs or you feel like you're melting in, that is not a quality piece of furniture that you should buy. There are some exceptions. If you're looking at certain brands, which I sometimes recommend looking into, you can find out if it's a quality piece worth restoring, because like things from the 1950s or earlier are going to need a little bit of help. And that's not because they weren't of quality, it's because they've been used so much and they're so old that they need to be reupholstered. The next thing we need to talk about are corner blocks, and that is also part of a dining room chair. You see this right here? This is a corner block. And this just adds structural integrity to the piece. But where did I find all these good pieces of furniture, and how can you find them too? there are a couple places that you want to look for. Facebook Marketplace has been one of the best places to find quality pieces of furniture. For instance, this is a Henkel Harris secretary. Do not mind the mess. We are currently in the process of redoing this room. Now, everything from the desk that pulls out, to the dovetail joints in it, to the fancy brass key locks, everything exudes quality in this piece. And you can see it's made in Westchester, Virginia. Now, Henkel Harris is widely considered to be the Rolls-Royce of furniture in America. And guess what? It was only $100 on Facebook Marketplace. Very lucky. The next place that I look for furniture is at vintage or consignment stores. So for instance, this blue striped chair was found at a consignment store. I have many opinions on buying upholstered furniture secondhand because I am very concerned about getting bed bugs or spiders. That's another story for another time, but that is one of the pieces of furniture that I found at a consignment store. It was more expensive than if I had bought it off Marketplace or if I had chosen to go somewhere else like an estate sale, which is the next thing on my agenda. I do not personally go to estate sales because you have to be a certain type of person, a certain type of breed of person. You have to wake up early, you have to be slightly competitive, and there are rules. And I am not in the mood to deal with any of that. It's very stressful. Anyway, the next place I shop are vintage stores. Now, I have found this piece of furniture. As you can see, the dovetail joints, the drawers just push in easily. Antique stores, another really good place to find furniture. Now, the thing about antique stores are they are pricey, so you want to be careful, but you can find really good quality pieces. And frankly, I would rather buy a quality piece of furniture than not. Now, how does this relate to interior design? Because honestly, that's what we're here for. Well, your house is going to look cooler than everyone else's because you're able to get this nice quality furniture. It's not going to be from a big box store. You're going to find really good quality pieces that are unique to you. You can also change up the style of all of these. So you can do things like change up the upholstery. You can refinish a piece, whatever. I personally love to reupholster pieces or slip cover them, which is what I'm doing to those blue chairs because my cat's going to destroy them otherwise. And so this just adds a protective barrier to it. But your house will just look so cool. For instance, that secretary that I showed you earlier by Henkel Harris, that is a piece that will last me a lifetime. But not only that, it's weird. It's old. I love it. And there are different styles and types of furniture. You want something more modern, go for mid-century modern. It's not my style, but it's very clean. It's a little edgy, and it is pretty popular right now. You want something classic with a lot of details and just beautiful, go for traditional furniture. Now, you do need to mix things together, and we will get into that in a later video because you don't want it to look like a museum or just a restoration of pieces that you have put together. And then there's Art Deco, which is trending, right? And Art Deco is just absolutely beautiful. I have always loved Art Deco. It doesn't really fit in my style or in my house, but I do appreciate it quite a lot. Pretty much the options are endless for what kind of vibe you're going for, but you can still get contemporary pieces. It's harder to find and it's going to be more expensive. And you run the risk of potentially getting a cheap piece of furniture. If you want to make your house look cool, you need to find the unique pieces. You don't have to shop the cheap stuff. There are affordable options out there for you. If you want to outfit your home in something that is just delightful, lovely, will stand up to all sorts of wear and tear, I highly recommend you check out vintage, consignment stores, thrift stores, pretty much anything where you could find old quality furniture. Look, you may be buying dead people's stuff, but at the end of the day, you are helping save the environment. You are making sure that a piece does not end up in a landfill, and you're getting a piece of history. You don't necessarily even need to refinish it. Let's say there are a bunch of scratches on it. This just adds to the character, the beauty, and the patina of that particular item. Worst comes to worst, you can always resell on Facebook Marketplace or a consignment store. Now you will never look at a corner block the same way again. Welcome to the club.